What is up, Catalyst? Or what is up, everybody? We are at Catalyst 2025. I am here with Dynamo.
Hello.
Yep, we are both from the team Vespertine, and we will be casting this match of qualifiers. Yeah, back
Not
in with
again, bro.
Jack Harlow. Look at this. Miles'
No.
favorite singer, guys. Back at it again.
I'm
And
blocking the screenshot.
yeah, he's gonna sing everyone to victory, y'all. And we got some high players in here, some really good players. And I'm excited to see how they perform. We're going to have some interesting things happen. I'm interested to see how everyone does. We have some people like Linguine in here, which we've seen at Riptide and DreamHack. We've seen Hee Haw, which is a pretty solid player from the Team Gummy Vitamin or Gastrodon variants. We see Angle from Grounded Gaming. We see a Lunch Tray from LinkedIn, and Vertex, who's also pretty popular in the LAN scene. So lots of familiar names. And we're going to start this off on B-Dubs or Waluigi Stadium.
Yeah, I'm really excited with this pool in general because you're going to see a lot of names such as Luxatone, who are honestly people that could score as high as like second or third place overall, but also they just have the ability to outscore as well. So you're going to see almost anything can happen in this room. I don't think the top 6 is really going to be set straight off the mark here. So I'd really want to watch every single race on this one.
Yes, so starting here, we have Linguine chilling in first place here, but he might not be in here for long as this is Waluigi Stadium, and there's this big dirt shortcut up here, so we'll probably see a bunch of people shroom up through here, but yep, here it is. We see some people starting to catch up, break into his top spots here. We got Lunch Tray in first here. Linguine with double reds here, so Lunch Tray is not too safe, but looks like he lagged it someone with his red here.
That or he just hit the wall there.
Yeah.
Lunch Tray currently maintaining that first spot, Linguine right behind him. He does have the ability to at least apply pressure here, but he doesn't really have a reason to. He has that shroom in the pocket, so it's just completely up to Lunch Tray if he wants to die, or Linguine could just take that opportunity and shroom up here and just kind of hope that a blue doesn't stop him from running.
Honestly, it's not too bad of a position, but we're going to switch over to Hee Haw here. So Hee Haw has his shrooms. He's going to cut up here. Got to watch out for Angle's ring behind him, but he has fire in pocket, which can be pretty devastating if he's able to shoot it up on this upcoming ramp section after the half pipe. Could be pretty devastating for them. But it looks like he is going to hold on to this shroom, assuming he's going to hold this all the way to the dirt shortcut here, which honestly isn't too bad, or he can hold it for the blue.
Yeah, I respect it, because he sees a shroom and a coin around him. He's just kind of seeing that these people aren't necessarily a threat, and he's going to take that gamble and really hope that they aren't going to try and cycle their items and apply pressure on him. He is going to be in this contention, and if there is a blue, that he might be the one that ends up taking it, or could just shroom here.
Yeah, that line fail cost him a few spots, and that means if he wants to maintain first, he is going to have to shroom up. But right now, we see side-by-side Linguine and Hee Haw here. Linguine kind of getting hit out here. He's now in the mid-pack. Hee Haw's chilling in first. He has fire, which is really solid here. He could honestly just pack all of this on this big ramp coming up here and destroy all of the people behind him. But we see the blue shell out, but it is not going to do a whole lot as an easy first place for Hee Haw.
Linguine managing to play that mid pack really well because he missed all of the items from the half pipe. So him managing to move up 4 spots with absolutely nothing and then pulling a star is honestly the best possible outcome for him.
Yes. We see Hee Haw, Lunch Tray, and Angle in our top 3 spots here. So we're probably going to see some potential runner picks from them and see what they can do with it.
Yeah, and you see Sunset, Luxatone, and Vertex in that 5, 6, 7 spot. The people that are going to be potentially sitting around that middle of the pack. It's going to be very important to see what happens to them because them getting first or them getting last will just completely open the doors for anyone else on either side to potentially make it through. All right, mixed bag. We're seeing some baggers, a lot of shroomers, definitely a few runners.
Yep, I'm going to Lunch Tray's runner of choice, which is Daisy Cruiser. I know he is very dominant on this track. I used to be a former teammate of his, so I remember he used to grind this track out a lot. So he can be pretty strong on this track, especially when he is starting in a pretty high spot.
Yeah, and at least with his obsession with Daisy, it probably goes hand in hand.
Yeah. And we'll see this table section here, which is also pretty devastating. Linguine Uh-oh, we might have
I
had
think
to do
there's
a
a
room
DC.
reset here.
Yeah, I think there might be technical issues. And there might be an audio issue next to the person next to lunch tray on the left side here.
Yeah. Slight technical difficulties. Looks like they have to reset the room here.
Is it lunch tray?
What?
I think lunch tray. Lunch tray might have DC'd. That or there's like an issue where his cord might be plugged into the person next to him's computer. Because it seems like it's an issue with two people being in that 6th seed and 7th or 5th seed and 6th seed.
Yeah. Kind of unfortunate. Lunchtray kind of got what he wanted there, so unfortunate to see that they had to reset the room, but hopefully everyone will get back on track and we'll see how everyone's doing. But also, this does add a slight bit of suspense as we won't know who actually wins, you could say, until the final scoreboard.
Yeah, honestly,
So,
best we could do is just kind of have a few names in mind as people that could get those bonus points. But at least right now, that race won't mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. But at the same time, it's like if you're someone like Luxatone or just anyone else in that 6th, 8th spot, like it's not perfect. It's not like, the insane start that you'd want to see, but it isn't necessarily bad either. Just take that opportunity as a warm-up race. Take this opportunity with the room reset to really just lock in, use what you are now warmed up with, and be able to get a few races in that can soar you up to maybe 3rd or 4th.
mhm.
These
All
are some
right.
disgusting tracks.
Yeah, this is an interesting track selection. Not too fond of some of these. Linguingo Water Park is interesting. You don't really see that too often, but it looks like that's what we're going to. So we'll see how well he can hold his spot on here, because he is the host of the room. It's a guaranteed first place here starting off. So we'll see how well he can hold on to it. Pretty interesting to see what he can do. All right, so now we see Linguine starting up here. He is in first, so yeah, now he has probably only he pulls defense, which honestly is pretty solid here, just because now he doesn't have to worry about getting insta-redded or something just getting thrown up and instantly hitting him, so he can kind of chill out with this. He's pretty free to trail, but he is going to want to get rid of this mana at the next set, as he's going to want that coin in the primary spot just so his defense doesn't get ghosted.
At least with Linguine as the runner here, I have a lot of faith in him specifically running this track, barring he gets double redded, because this is his track pick. This is one of the more technical runners, something more difficult for most players to run. So Linguine already getting like that 2 to 3 second gap with no sort of speed boost item at all whatsoever. It seems like unless he's contested with, of course, a blue shell that is now coming in,
Yeah.
uh, he is probably going to be one of probably the fastest people on this track.
Yeah, that blue shell setting him back a bit as we see Vertex catching up with him up
1,
there.
2. He's going to get
Yeah,
Luxie
yeah,
unless he goes wide.
yeah.
Luxie going
Luxem's
wide.
able to avoid it, but Sin barely gets chomped at the plant, and we see Heehaw triple greens in third. Honestly, really solid items in a really solid spot here. So we'll see what he can do with
Yeah.
Vertex and Linguine. Oh, unfortunate line fell into the door here. This kind of really sets Vertex and Linguine pretty far from the rest of the pack. Lunch Tray just narrowly avoiding
Luffy
the
not
backs
using
from Heehaw.
anything. Unless he has a golden, he could have shock.
Yeah. Heehaw has this horn here. We'll see what he can do. We'll see if Lunchie tries to be a little bit more aggressive towards it, but he's having to pop the horn just so he can defend the green here. Oh my gosh, and just get
Oh.
hit by the second one.
Not losing too many spots off of it, but he is at risk of if Luxito decides to back here.
Ooh, Angle coming in with
Oh,
a horn and just destroying everyone in his path except for Heehaw. And it looks like Heehaw is going to have to secure fourth. Only a one
Linguine.
spot loss, but it also looks like Linguine was able to take over Vertex in that top two. And Luxito really suffered from Angle's horn as well, sending him all the way down to
Definitely.
ninth.
That seemed like fairly similar to last time. I mean, it seemed like Heehaw and Linguine really just flipped there from 1 and 4 to 4 and 1. But a lot of the people like Sunset and Luxatone and Luffy kind of finishing around those lower spots. It's, obviously with Luxatone pushing up there around the 4 to 5 spot, he could very easily get a race that could push him back to the top. It's just kind of hoping that they don't have good items around him, or he can work on his awareness. But yeah, he is using LA as a common streamer for at least the collegiate team that he's on. They are going to get a runner, and is one that he's also familiar with. But I feel like a lot of people here are very familiar with this in general. It is going to be a runner that has a high chance, or at least a decent chance of a shock. So honestly, I believe that even people like Luffy, who he could push up, or he could just be in the back and honestly take advantage of whatever shock happens back there.
Yeah, or be in the back, yeah, and just potentially pull a bill, I guess, and like take the extension in the indoor area because I know that place is very trivial for all sorts of items to just kind of jump scare people and kill everyone. And right here, Hee Haw has an amazing item in a great spot. Second place with triple nanas is super good for him here. It really kind of just protects him everywhere. He has no reason to get rid of this. He just needs to hold on to this and hopefully catch up to Linguine and potentially hit him out. But it looks like this was also Linguine's runner of choice, so I mean, he knows what he's doing, so we'll see how well Hee Haw can keep up with him.
Yeah, honestly, unless he knows something that we don't, I don't really see why he would get rid of these nanas. It would be better if he had a shroom in that pocket spot, but he has the protection that he needs. The only way I honestly think that he loses this is if he gets too close to Linguine and he wins that trail battle. But he has no reason to pressure him. There's at least a couple of seconds of space in between him and third, which seems like Luffy. He has the ability to move up. I'm not really sure what items he has, because he could have a couple of shrooms if he came from the back. Multiple people in stars as well, but they just got out.
Yeah, it looks like Hee Haw dropped all of his nanas just because he realized if he wants to break into first here, he has to get rid of them, right? And he gets the double reds here, and the shock happens. I think. Oh, and Hee Haw gets boxes, pulls the red here, and it's able to hit out Linguine. We just saw him pull up in a build.
Angle build. Yeah, he's in
second.
second.
Angle is up here now, and Angle is now in first place.
Vertex moving up with red.
And ASN has triple greens in the mid pack here. He can be pretty defensive with these. It is going to defend him from Luffy's red here.
No, okay, well, single item set. Luffy and Lunch Tray in that mid pack. Luffy, I think, just pulled out green, so he can at least protect himself or be a menace to other people. Vertex was someone who I think did really well last race, so him getting this off of that shock is just very important for his standing.
Yeah, and it looks like Linguine, it just absolutely, that shock was not it for him. It all started with Hee Haw's red, and that was just his decline.
Saved the video.
It was really unfortunate. Shock is such an evil item that can really flip the script for a lot of people. And Angle and Vertex were able to profit off of it. Ended up getting top twos. So, yeah, we just see Angle had the build there. Looks like he's able to dodge shock and just cruise into first with like nothing. And it looks like there's another same technical issue. So now we really won't know who's going to win till the end once we add up all the scores.
We're just going to start guessing.
Yeah, it's some mystery around. Mystery winner here.
Yes. It's the same area, it seems like. Spicy's gonna have to crunch the numbers for us, and we're just gonna hopefully create a narrative, and he won't like shake his head at us or something like that. I'm happy I'm not in this room. I mean, our room had a little bit of technical difficulties, but it was only a one-time thing.
Yeah, it was just Bubbles' like headphones were just kind of like messing up, but this, it's like they had to reset it twice, which is kind of unfortunate, but I mean, we'll see how everyone does. So that was 3 races. So we have a total of 10. Wait, no, we have 9 races left. So yeah, we are about 1/4 of the way through this match, and the end will be a surprise. So it will be kind of like how 200 was, because I know I casted 200 with Bubbles, and it's kind of the same thing. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if who we think is going to win ends up winning, and it'll be pretty interesting.
Yeah, if you should we talk about the other race or no? Xiao's currently in first in the other pool on Sky High Sunday.
You know how the headphones are connected to the back of the monitor?
Yes.
If you move around a little bit, sometimes it disconnects the switch in the dock.
Yeah.
And it's the same switch that's found in that prop.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, wait, yeah. So it's the switch or the setup?
It's like the setup. It's a combination of the dock here is kind of chippy at times, and then the headphones.
You calling it switch janky?
Yeah, we're replacing the dock right now. Yes.
Fate is in second. Shadow in 1 entering lap 3 of Sky High Sunday. Someone trying to back him. Fate has a bomb, though. Deciding to back it, so I think Shadow is almost guaranteed first unless they get outlined by Fate here. He's going for it. He's in 1. Very contested 1-2. He has a red, so he can't side green. He's going to go for it. Doesn't happen. Shadow 1. Fate 2. And we are back. Let's go. Linguine, honestly, if they had, yeah, they did close room, so honestly, really good for Linguine. He can't get those points back, but I assume he's going to start from like 11th up to 3rd, picking a runner, so he's probably in a really good spot. He might have had to host room as well, so he might just be like number 1 or number 2 in the room right now. Yeah, I honestly like some of these tracks. Linguine getting picked again.
Linguine is getting lots of runners here. He's getting 3 runners in a row. He's saying Water Park into Daisy Cruiser, and even though the room seed and he got a bad finish there, he's able to get another runner, that being Wild Woods. Pretty technical track. There is a very interesting way that you can do the final shortcut shroomless. Some know it as the Cha-Cha Slide. And considering Linguine has a lot of experience with this game, I'm interested to see if he knows how to do it.
Yeah, he ran Water Park pretty hard, so honestly, you know, if he has a faith in a runner, then I have faith in him.
Yeah, he is going for the point right here, which honestly, pretty smart play. When you're first, you need that money, especially since he's playing on Scooty. When you're at that loss of speed, coins are very important.
Yeah, and you're seeing Sin and Luffy as the top 2. I don't know how long they're going to hold these top spots, but I think they're like, Luffy's like 9th and Sin's like maybe last in standings right now. So seeing these people in the back moving up can honestly flip this entire table upside down if these 2 players manage to bring it back, because that'll enter them into real contention.
Yep. And as you see here, Hee-Haw is pretty far in the back, which kind of unfortunate for a track like Wild Woods. It looks like we might have gotten hit now too. So we see the Daisies in the front, which are Lunch Tray and Angle. Vertex kind of cracking in up there. So we'll see what, Hee-Haw getting fired out. We'll see what he can do to get back up here.
I think he's fine, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think this mid-pack is crazy enough that he could just kind of slide by. As long as he avoids some of these greens and nanas, it can move up to 4 with that star.
Yeah, Sin's in front of him, has the triple greens. So he's got to be very cautious of those, because if she backs them on this shortcut up here, got to be careful. Barely dodges them.
Yeah.
And now the blue shell is out. So it looks like we see Angle is going to get blued here. Linguine in 9th place. We'll see what he can do to break into these top spots. He has quad trims here, and it looks like we see, I think that's Sunset breaking into these top spots.
Last just went into Ghost, so pack is really tight. So honestly, unless things are crazy, I don't think there's going to be a shock. At this point, just get your shrooms, get your star, try and survive, and just run. Just go. And hopefully you could get a top 3 spot. Is that Sunset in 1 right now?
I think so. That is this could be pretty lucrative. We could see one of the underdogs.
They took cut Sunset.
We see one of the Cutstown underdogs getting first here on Wild Woods. You love to see it. You love seeing the people that aren't always at the top of the leaderboards get first. Looks like it's the top 2 from people in Pennsylvania. Cool stuff. You love to see it here at Riptide. They have the home court advantage here.
Yeah, you saw Sin and Luxatone do as well, like really well as well, like 4 or 5 or something like that. So I think Sunset was sitting around that 9th or 10th place spot. So her getting that, as long as Sin and Luxatone, it's just they're hopefully going to start a new push, potentially getting more of those top middle spots that can push them up to that 6th place spot. Obviously, we don't immediately know where that mark is to pass, but honestly, you know, if you're getting good races, you're probably on a good pace.
Yeah, we see Linguine over here is picking DK Mountain, and we see going to DP3 from Luffy, which honestly kind of a wild card.
It works for his spot. I think he got like 10th, or he got 8th.
No, he got I think maybe a mid spot.
He got 8th. He has 5.
Yeah. So honestly, this isn't too bad here. So there was a very infamous shroomless shortcut here with the notorious plant in it, which can be pretty annoying, but we'll see how well these people can navigate it. So it looks like we see Hee-Haw taking the underwater route here, and that fern right there is a demon, okay? Always be scared of the plant. It is a race ruiner, but it looks like we have top 2 from Luffy and Hee-Haw. And Linguine is often you stay in the back, which honestly isn't bad for this track either. This track
Really
can
good.
kind of be used for anything, just because of there's enough shortcuts where you can kind of make it back, but it also has enough skill in it where you can also run away like we see from Luffy and Hee-Haw.
Depending on who's in the back, there's definitely going to be a shock. So honestly, unless you just have terrible items in the back, there is no wrong place to be.
Yes. We see Lunch Tray, it looks like he might have been a victim of the plant there, because he was running into the wall. And we see Linguine, he is shrooming up here.
Decent hand. His hand
Yeah.
is more valuable than the people around him, but that golden mushroom is kind of scary, especially if he does pull a dodge here.
Oh, the bomb.
Someone is really far back right now, and they aren't. I assume they're in a golden, but they could have shock after.
He's gonna need a dodge here.
He needs a dodge.
Oh, he gets triple shrooms because there is a possibility of shock, but Blue
He's
is
gambling
out.
on the run.
And it looks like it's not even going for Hee-Haw. Hee-Haw, this is insanely good for Hee-Haw. As long as Angle behind him doesn't shroom up, he should be fine. And even then, he still has a horn. And he has a... Oh, it looks like Angle was able to shroom up at the very end and barely slip into first in front of Hee-Haw. And Linguine is able to catch right back up and get fourth. Again, this shot can kind of be used for anything, as we saw there. We saw... Wow. Pennsylvania top 3. Lots of just Pennsylvania people just taking over these top spots here. And it looks like coming in from Spice here, we have the DC point, so we can kind of do some mental math here of who we think, like who gets what. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Spicy, for the tablet.
Yes, goated whiteboard. Making a comeback from Road Rage. And so we see Hee-Haw here picking Rumble Volcano for second here, and we see Linguine picking DK Mountain for third. I'm pretty sure there's some of our top players. We also have Vertex is doing pretty solid as well. And he's picking LA Labs. But yeah, I don't know. I think Linguine's DK Mountain is honestly a pretty solid pick here. It's a pretty good skill track, and I don't know. And it looks like we're going to Athens here, which we know it is a favorite of mine and Dynamo's, so very excited to see this track get picked here at Catalyst.
Unfortunately, yeah, they're a more lucky group, to be honest, because they didn't get picked in our room, and I honestly felt like I could have farmed it, but here we are.
Yep. And now we see Hee-Haw starting a second here, which honestly, Hee-Haw is in prime position for this track, I'd say. Pretty good shoe up spot, and it's also pretty easy just to hit people out. And he's burning out here, which honestly isn't horrible. There's a lot of catch-up potential in this track, so it's really not that over for him.
The shroom spot's coming up. Linguine's in a really good spot.
Oh,
if he did
gets
just
hit
get
by the triples.
No coins either.
Yeah.
Luffy getting
he is going to bag this race, which honestly, bagging Athens isn't something I feel like I see too often. And both of our players talking about earlier, Hee-Haw and Linguine, both just sent to the back very early on, so we'll see what everyone else can do to kind of like make some, or see what they can do to make some ground on everyone else. But it looks like we have our daisies, either Lunch Tray or Angle in first place.
I think both, probably.
Yeah, because I don't see any of them else in the mid pack. But honestly, Hee-Haw, there's too bad of items here. So we'll see what he can do. He's gonna cut up here, and I don't know. Shock's I don't think they need Shock to win, but we'll see what they can do.
No, they're closing in now,
yeah,
honestly.
They're starting to kind of tell after the shortcuts.
Like, because you're going to see the pillar section come up here in the shortcut, everyone just funneling to those corners for those double items into a straightaway. Honestly, if you just don't die here, you can get into fifth and potentially pull like triple shrooms or something and get up to third or second.
Also, this glider part right here can be pretty scary because it's really easy to throw up items here and just absolutely murder everyone in your path. So we'll see what these guys can do here. And as you see, people are dying and they are gaining spots. This is the time where Linguine, he's able to chain here, which is, not always a guarantee considering the revolving item boxes. He's able to dodge the fire, and he's taking the hidden road
he probably
here
needs protection.
all the way up to fourth here. Oh no, Star runs out a little sooner than he thought, and now we have Hee-Haw streaming up here. Both of them were able to get some ground. Linguine having to improvise here.
Horrible line fill.
Able to dodge the pillars. He's not able. Oh, looks like Hee-Haw's able to die against the Kusan side, and it gets third right in front of Hee-Haw. That was kind of scary from Linguine's POV there, because I honestly thought he was just line failing just into oblivion here. We have Sunset in fourth over here. So honestly, it's really cool seeing these players, these underdogs, making their stands.
Yeah, I think Megalodon was honestly near the bottom, has consistently been near the bottom. So them getting first there is a really big deal.
Yes.
think their DC point.
Yeah, we see Linguine going with DK Mountain once again, which honestly is not that bad of a track for his spots. You know, he's like really close to the top spots. I mean, he's in third, which is a top spot, but like he's not like top 2. So he's kind of chilling to pick this track. Really easy to draft up on, and is also a pretty skillful track. So if he does all the tech right, he can run away very easily with this.
A lot of runners and streamers, people really having pride in their ability to run here. Sweet? No. Okay. Vancouver. Unfortunately, I don't think we have Moo or Balkers in here, so we can't see the Canadian difference. But, yeah, this is somewhat depending on how you expect, but Sunset on 23 is really good. They had 16 DC points, so kind of lower in the pack, but not completely out of it. So them kind of turning a new page after that DC is a really big deal if you're a Sunset fan.
Yeah, so now we see Linguine here. He is in first, able to get that very early draft here. He is hitting all the shots he needs to hit to maintain these first place spots. But again, he has no item here, but luckily he'll be able to snag this double here and be pretty set with some defense. Yeah, opting to be pretty aggressive against Hee-Haw here. Gets the trail. He is chilling in first here. Honestly, I'd pop this coin if I were him. Yep. Just so he knows he can get that little bit of extra speed, and he gets the double box here. And he's in a pretty solid spot. Now we have Hee-Haw, who is in the mid-pack, so we'll see what he can do. Gotta avoid this Vertex triple nanas, but he has some nice space, but gotta be careful of Megalodon's Rang. Hee-Haw really stretching to get that UMT there. Gets the Rang off on Vertex, but gotta be careful of his red here.
He's gonna rage red, yeah, at least it just set.
Yep, Hee-Haw knows that it's like, right now, this pack is not for him, so he's gonna drop out, keep his coins, and go for some better items.
Yeah, he definitely needs more coins here. We're going to see how many people are going to take this shortcut. Somewhat of an important one, not necessarily for this group, because there is more than enough time for hijinks to take place. So, honestly, if you don't shroom up now, you can just shroom up later. Hitting up from lunch tray.
We'll see what you can do here. He's gonna pop the star,
shrooms.
getting his boxes. Yeah, getting another basic star triple shroom pull, which isn't horrible. But also, we have lap 3. Lap 3 is super chaotic, mainly just because there's the alleyway after this turn, which this turn, very susceptible to lots of items. Luckily, he has the star, pulls triple reds here. Got to be careful around all these stars. He's going to chuck these up. Unfortunately, it hits the bats.
He's taking
a risk.
We'll see
what he can do.
Yeah,
it looks like he's going to hit Sunset out. He has the golden here. He's going to have to cut up here. We'll probably see him cut over these ferns here. He is in a fourth. He has a blue all the way up in third and gets hit by Luffy's triple reds. He's going to need some really good items here, but I don't think he can get what he needs. There's just tons of stars on him. He's forced to slow down. It looks like Linguine gets hit on the line, but has such a lead, it really doesn't matter for him. And unfortunately, the wall, I guess, just eats Hee-Haw's red, and he gets 7th here. Pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, Vertex falling down near the end. Angle Sunset, Luxatona at the end. Kind of unfortunate for those people. A lot happened there. I think Hee-Haw kind of played that close to as well as he could have. Ended up deciding to risk it by not getting rid of his nanas on that left turn and just hoping that he got better items. Honestly, decent race for him. Fortunately, he wasn't people like Vertex who just die on the line because honestly, like 5 people could pass you there. It is interesting with this room. Because despite I thought there'd be more shocks in general, people trying to bag and get comfortable in the back, but everyone's just trying to run. Honestly, they're outside of like maybe a couple people, there are no like super hard baggers, and everyone's just kind of having faith in their ability to pull star and shrooms and moving up or just running in general.
Yeah, and now we see going to Snowland. So this is a pretty strong bagger here. So we'll see what they can do here. There's also a very big shortcut that is kind of make it or break it. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Maybe we'll see Linguine bag here. And because he has no coins. So honestly, bagging for me isn't that bad of an idea, but it looks like he's gonna opt to run here.
Looks like 3, 4 back or 5. It's I assume like Lunch Tray, Luxatone, Vertex, and Luffy are currently in the back.
Yep. Looks like Hee-Haw just sitting by these coins, getting his money up, not his funny up, and we're gonna see how he can use this. And yeah, Linguine ends up bagging later just because it is pretty optimal on this track with how important that shortcut is. And so he's going to be aggressive with the triple greens on Hee-Haw there, streaming into him as they pop out. And there's a blue. Again, very early blue. It's like not even, it's coming towards the end of lap 1. We already seen the blue pop out, going to Sin there. Not able to drop out in time, which is pretty unfortunate. But we see Hee-Haw.
He's gonna be dropped ahead of a
ending.
crazy 8 though, so he needs to
Yep,
like get out of the
luckily
way.
the crazy 8 was spammed just in time, and he's able to golden right over the shortcut there and dodge the green.
That's insane.
This is really good for Hee-Haw. And
Vertex
honestly,
is in the back though. He's in a high probability for shock. Honestly, my prediction, I think there's gonna be a shock lap 3.
Right here, Hee-Haw is doing great. If there is a blue, which not gonna lie, yeah, there's the blue. Again, it's a bagger, so there's pretty more than likely gonna be more
There's
than
like
one blue.
3 in shock range right now,
Yep,
honestly.
he's gonna take shortcut here, and he's going to have another shroom to dodge the blue, and now he just has this insane lead. As long as nothing really stupid happens, he should be fine. And we see Linguine in 3rd place here, not able to dodge the penguin, and barely slips into the water. He's
just hoping for a shock dodge now, to be honest.
Oh, that is an insane build. And he dodges the shock. And it looks like Hee-Haw gets first
He
here.
moves up to 3rd. I don't think he should use that red. He just needs to protect himself. I think Luffy just stole 3rd. Green 4th. That was perfect for him.
Yes, even though he had a misplay there of driving tighter, thinking he could outspeed the penguin, he unfortunately got hit into the water, but gets an insanely good dodge in the bill. That meant everything for him. And there he is saving the clip. Honestly, he deserves to say that. He deserves to say that. That was pretty lucrative.
I'd say that's the thing about Snowlands, why it's kind of risky to pick it. It's never over until it's over. Honestly, just none of it matters until that last set, as you can see. One of them ended up pulling shock. I'm not really sure how it affected the rest of the people in the back. For someone like Linguine, that was exactly what you needed. Bill was huge there. Ended up not getting anything insane in that ghost item, but that's not really the point. The point is he had a Bill in like 8th place and everyone around him died. So I don't think he's really at risk of falling down, but this mostly just secures his spot probably earlier than he kind of needed to.
Now we see lots of more interesting track picks here. We see Angle going with Mute City, which is pretty interesting, which, obviously is the track that we're going to be going to. So there is also a pretty notorious or nefarious shortcut here that you can take shroomless, which normally requires a shroom at the end of the lap. So honestly, it's a pretty high skill shortcut, but we have some talented players here, so it's not impossible that we could be seeing it here on this race.
I don't think it's about the talent, to be honest, about how many people that take it. I think, honestly, as you can see with the amount of people that trail or how they use their items, everyone's going to play really safe and conservative unless they need to move up. So, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if some of our better players, unless extremely consistent at it, opt out of the shortcut just to ensure that they just maintain a decent spot. Yeah, you can see 1, 2, 3, and 4 trailing right now. Playing fairly conservative right now. Vertex can slow Horn if he wants to, but I don't really see why he would. He's probably just going to chain.
Or just hold on to it, honestly. Horn's a pretty solid item. Looks like we're going to see Linguine just barely gets the shroomless shortcut, and I think Hee-Haw gets it as well. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Very high skill shortcut, but we got some high skill players to demonstrate it for y'all. And we see them in top 2 now, making a break from Vertex, who had that horn near them earlier. We see Lunch Tray
choosing to
behind them.
Okay, there we go.
Tosses the bomb back, killing Linguine. It's extending Hee-Haw's lead here, so we'll see what he can do here. He doesn't need that double box. And we're going to see he gets a Nana here, which, pretty base defense, but now he's coming up on that shroomless shortcut. Is he going to be able to do it once again? It's going to be, barely clips off him, but honestly,
okay, that's good.
It's not going for him. It is going to be going, but the blue doesn't take the shortcut, which sometimes, I don't know, blues are pretty unpredictable sometimes. It's kind of unfortunate, but looks like it caused a lot of chaos, and now this pack all of a sudden has gotten significantly tighter. And we see lots of different people in the top slots now. We see Linguine chilling in 5.
Luxatoad's in 3. Like, he really needs this race. Last couple have been rough for him. Plant coming out. Honestly, I don't think it matters. As long as he gets a double here.
The bomb kills
it's really contested. There's like 4 people going for double. They're going to have to go around. That's going to really affect their race. What does...
Yeah, Linguine popping the star as he gets the coins and hits out Hee-Haw. Hee-Haw's sent pretty far back, but Linguine has shrimps here. He's got to pass Luxatone. We're just going to see what he can do here. Can he get up to 3rd here? I don't think he'll be able to pass Sunset, but he, unfortunately gets fired in the shortcut.
Did Luxie
die?
Someone
else dies, and
Luxie's
he gets
getting blued. Does he fall to 11th off that or 10th?
Yeah, I think
No, was that after
Luxatone,
line? No, okay, I think that
he
was
gets
after line.
7th there. ASN is netting a first place there. And now we see Heehaw and Laguine in a pretty solid top 2 position.
All right, we're going to see these next track picks come up. We are reaching the end game of this round, so this is honestly all or nothing. Show what you got. What remaining tracks do you have if they got picked at all? We got a baby part coming out, which kind of a bad coin flip on that. But besides that, a lot of runners, some streamers, Linguine opting for DKM, which, personally, in our opinion, is a pretty good track.
Yep. Lots of honestly, these shots aren't too bad. We see Vertex going with a bagger here. And it looks like we are going to be going to Koopa Cape from Luxatone. So Koopa Cape, pretty well known for having a very solid shroom spot. So we'll see how many people are able to get shrooms like pretty early on and see how well they're able to hold on to them without getting hit out here. So yeah, honestly, it's pretty difficult. We'll see what happens here. People can be pretty devious and trail their items here. And yeah, on the topic of trailing items, we see Linguine in first place with triple damage and hitting everyone out that approaches
Bouncing
him. Gotta be
green will
watching
not
out for
hit.
the smart bounce here, but he is going to be chilling in these top spots here, not really losing a whole lot. But we see he's got to take this pretty tight just so he can clip off just a little bit in off-road. And that's why some of these players are as good as they are. They know all of these tiny little saves, and people like Linguine are able to pull them off and just have a little bit of an edge over the rest of the competition.
Sin currently in first place. You don't really want Linguine behind you, especially without blue protection or any protection in general. But Sin was in last pre-DC, so them just being in the front, potentially getting a really good spot, is just exactly what they need to move up.
Linguine dropping out, honestly, great play from him. Having triple greens behind you from Vertex is really scary. He can toss those up at any moment. Yep, and
He's gonna
ends
be
up dying to
passive,
it.
like with those
Yes.
greens. Honestly, he might attack you if you're in a really good line and you're going for a double.
Linguine
But
also
to be
dropping
honest,
off,
he's just
dropping
gonna
out
hold
again
them.
just because he doesn't want to get redded here and holds that shroom so he can use it in the shortcut. That red thankfully dodging him, and we see Sunset trailing. Ooh, a bomb that was killing 3 people. Luckily, they all got bombed on the boost panel, so it's
The
not as bad
second
as
bomb.
it could have been. But we see Heehaw over here. He is in 3rd right now, and honestly has a ton of shrooms. And Vertex is still in 1. You know, I feel like on this track there is always a blue shell, but we haven't seen one yet, and we have some pretty far back, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was a blue shell or a shock coming out sometime soon. But we'll see Heehaw unfortunately getting his stuff ghosted, and he was in the line for that shortcut, so he just has to like force himself to take it, which is really unfortunate because he can't take this shortcut here that is significantly faster.
All right,
And
Luffy in that 2 spot. He's
Mhm.
going to be aggressive on Vertex because he needs those points. If he ends up hitting him, that's a really good spot to attack him because he loses all momentum. Luffy just getting obliterated by
and
Heehaw.
there's the
Blue's
blue.
out.
I think he's gonna be able to hit Vertex right on the line, and it is going to net Heehaw a first place here. Vertex had
dodged.
a dodge behind the triple greens. Vertex was set the whole time. He was prepared for the scenarios. We see the green coming in 4th place here, rounding out the pack.
Luxy got 3? That's
Luxatone,
huge for
yeah.
him.
He needed that. He was pretty far back. Luxatone is, yeah, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be enough because I don't know what race we're on right now.
I feel like there was maybe 4 pre-DC, like there's 3 and 1, right? This was over 4 races, right? Where the pre-DC, it was 3 then 1, right?
It was 3 before the DCs. So
So is there 8 left after that? Okay.
there's 9 left after it.
I guess the points kind of make sense for 4.
Yeah. So we see, again,
For 3.
another baby park here. Again, lots of, honestly, pretty good track picks. Luxatone picking Wario's Gold Mine. What a selection. But we'll see what happens here. Again, lots of pretty solid tracks, but it looks like I think where the Piranha Plant slide. We're going to Baby Park.
Oh,
We are going to Baby Park. This is such an interesting track to commentate for, just because it's all chaos. And this is the second to last race here. This is race 11 that we're going into here. So we'll see what happens. This is completely just a wild card track. Like literally, literally anything can happen. It's freaking Baby Park. So we're seeing some people just drive back just because this track isn't very serious, unless your name is Six, who has pretty good spots on this or pretty good times on this. And we'll see what happens here. We see, we see Hee Haw staying in the back. Same with Linguine. There's pretty much a shock like every time on this track. So, but yeah, it's also pretty short. So people really got to make their bagging time worth it.
Well, fortunately, we have the two people that are most likely to pull shock. But they are being fairly conservative with these items, just going to use one for every single cut. But we are reaching that point around lap 4 to 5 where it's like, okay, they need to actually get into a single-digit spot.
Yep, and this is about the time where you're also going to want to start popping your
that's
dodges.
really good. Honestly, if they use that, like, maybe end of lap 6 or something, that's really good.
He needs to pop it, like,
now.
into
Yeah,
the shortcut.
There's going to be a shock soon. There's going to be a shock soon.
Yep,
he should
into
use
the
now.
shortcut. He's doing it
You're
now.
protected. He has really good items as long as he doesn't get dropped into the plant.
Plant as well. He is in first with triple shrooms. He's going to be able to take these shortcuts here as long as he doesn't get hit by anything.
Linguine just has to play survival.
And this is a very easy first place for Hee Haw here. That build set him up perfectly for the end of this.
For Linguine, the baggers honestly winning this one out over the runners. Luxatone 6, Sin in 4.
Yeah, and we see lots of spots here. We see Linguine in second, and we see Hee Haw in 1. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff going on. Baby Park is definitely a wild card track. So the fact that they were able to navigate it that well with the items was really good.
We're gonna do some mental math over here. Yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and do some math here. Figure out what everyone needs to win here. So we're going into the last race, and we have the scores before the DCs in front of us. So we're gonna try to do a little bit of math, see what everyone has. Because honestly, this could flip the script for some people. This could make it or break it for a few people, because some people, based off these scores, aren't where they kind of want them to be. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. And we're going to Toad Circuit. We just changed Baby Park into Toad Circuit, the Liam track, which is insane shenanigans. It looks like there's a ton of crazy things going on in the other streams, but last race,
I think they're in last race.
Toad Circuit,
they're on lap 3,
the Liam track.
Yeah, they're on lap 3 of the final race. And they're at least watching Spoon right now, who is currently on the hot seat. I think he's around the 8th place spot, so he needs to get first.
Yep. Anyways, we see Linguine. He is drawing right now. What a guy. And yeah, it's Toad Circuit, which, you don't see toad balloons anywhere except for this track, which I think makes it pretty cool. So we'll see what happens here. We have Hee Haw chilling in first place here. Let me see Linguine. Honestly, they're like half a lap apart, but I mean, it's Toad Circuit. Anything can happen. And it looks like Linguine has a bill in last here. So, it's Toad Circuit. He's going to pop it in this cut probably. So we'll see what he can do. We'll see how far this brings him up. Hee Haw is running away from this.
Spoon's out by 2.
Oh, yeah. He's watching some stuff from the other stream as well. But we have Linguine in 8th place here with a star, popping the star into the double here. Luffy forced into its bill to avoid getting hit by Linguine's star, but Linguine has another one that he can pop in this cut, which he needs to, or else the star just leaves him stranded in the sand.
Entering lap 3, this is crunch time. You're seeing everyone who had stars and shrooms moving up. This is the moment where you have... Okay, Luxatone currently in 1. I'm not really sure if he holds it. It really depends on if that bluer shot comes out. But 2 and 3, unless Lunch Tray is hiding a shroom, they're not an immediate threat to him. Something drastic has to happen, or else Luxatone is just going to secure this. It completely ruined the idea of someone else.
Shrooms up, and Luxatone, easy first place for him.
No, yeah, Luxy 1, Lunch Tray 2. Did
Hee Haw 9, which doesn't really matter too much for him, just because Hee Haw is pretty settled for making it in. And yeah, that was it for race 9. Now, keep in mind the people that you see here and this top 6, just because they're in the top 6 doesn't mean that they're really in. Just because we gotta add up all of these points. So we're gonna see what happens here. We're gonna add up what everyone has, and we'll see what everyone got. But I'm pretty sure we have Linguine and Hee Haw.
Who are we watching right now? Hee Haw? Yeah, show the screen.
Yeah. I'm
Or
pulling up the screenshot
did he take
here.
final screen or no? I don't think he did. Did he?
Yep. All
Okay,
right.
cool.
We're gonna do some math here. So
Yeah.
it looks like he is in first place, which is with a 127. Right. 7. Here we have Linguine, who is currently in second place after these standings with a 113. Write it down. Now
Vertex
next we have
32 plus
Vertex
63.
32 plus 63. Vertex scored a 95. Here, write that in front of his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
95.
Sin, unfortunately, not making it in.
64
Making it with a
Sin.
64. And then we have Trey with a 27
78.
plus 78. He is in it to win it. He got a 105. We have
Luxy getting a
Luxatone.
59 plus 16.
He got a 75. And then we have Angle here, which he
35
has
plus 69.
plus 69. He gets a 104. Then we have Luffy
59
here,
plus 13.
13 plus 59, getting a 72.
ASN getting a 49 plus 17.
49 plus 17, getting 66 points.
630 or Omega. Oh, it's Megalodon. 50 plus 12. 62.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sunset 16 plus 50. That is 66.
And Yummy 24 plus 11.
Yep. Which is 35.
So
which means
first place. Hee Haw.
Yeah.
Trey.
Hee Haw, Trey, Angle.
Vertex.
Run. Angle. Vertex. After that, it looks like we have.
Is it Lux? No.
Is it Luxatone?
Is it Luxy?
I think Lux made it.
Did Luxy get it?
Luxatone? And then after that, it's Luffy. There we go. So the people that made it in first place, we have Hee Haw. Second place, we got Linguine. Third place, we have Angle. No, third place, we have Trey. Fourth place, we have Angle. Fifth place, we have Vertex. Sixth place, we have Luxatone. Yes, you made it in. And that is it. That is your final standings. First place, Hee Haw. Second place, Linguine. Third place, Lunchtray. Fourth place, Angle. Fifth place, Vertex. And in sixth place, Luxatone.
Yeah. I'm just saying, Luxy got first on Toad Circuit there.
That mattered.
If he got second, he would have tied.
Yeah, would have tied Luffy's. So there you go. That is your standings for the last room of the Catalyst qualifiers or quarterfinals. Kind of the same thing. But yeah, we have no last chance qualifiers. So there you go. That is it. We are now going to close it out. Thank you for everyone that tuned in. We have Spoon sponsoring us here with a Donkey Kong, as well as the egg that I provided earlier. But yeah, that is it. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in. But we will see you guys next time with semis in just a little bit. Adios, y'all.